etc. And they put them through a battery, and they put them through a battery, and they put them
I have no medical experience or knowledge of any kind, but what I have had a little bit of experience of as a minister for 10 years is dealing with scientific issues that come up, which very often I couldn't understand, but where the case for an inquiry was strong, and I always encouraged that, because there is nothing more conservative, if you know what I mean, than the scientific community if they think they're being challenged by ideas they don't really like. And I think the Europeans for Medical Progress have made an amazing advance, because they've brought together the scientific evidence. It isn't as if we were way on the fringes anymore, because 250 members of Parliament have signed an early day motion calling for an independent validation of the arguments put up by Europeans for Medical Progress. And I think that is what we should be calling for. You can't anticipate the research, but I feel quite confident, having attended meetings. I chaired a meeting in Oxford in which this issue came up. I'm absolutely confident that the case is a strong enough one to merit an inquiry, and if it does take place, and it does prove that these arguments are valid, then it could have a profound impact on medical research, on medical science, on human health, on the cost of drugs and all the rest. It's a very, very important development. And my experience of progress, if I finish with this, is very simple. If you come up with a new idea, like votes for women, for example, you're ignored. If you go on after you've been ignored, you're absolutely stark staring bonkers. I've had a touch of that myself in life. If you go on after that, you're very, very dangerous. They locked up the suffragettes. And then there's a pause, and then you can't find anyone at the top who doesn't claim to have thought of it in the first place. And that is how progress is made, and I have a feeling that Europeans for Medical Progress are at the pause stage, just before the guys at the top recognise it.
I am, and have been for many years, an advocate of using human tissue for drug discovery research. I don't think it's the whole answer, but I do think it's a very important aspect of it, and I think we need to make as much use as we can of this very valuable resource. There is plenty of human tissue about. There are a number of ways of acquiring it. It could be acquired following surgery. Stuff is being taken out of the body as we speak for any number of different disorders. A lot of that tissue needs to be kept for the pathologist, but other tissue, frankly, would just go to the incinerator. It is criminal for that to happen when it could actually be diverted towards research.
Brief. Astran and the scientific team that make up the company were absolutely delighted to contribute to this film, which I think makes a really compelling story. I mean, what it says is that there's Luddites in every century, and that includes the 21st century. And anybody who doubts the need for change in the way we develop drugs has only got to look at the world's largest drug company, Pfizer, who have just a couple of months ago announced that they were laying off 10,000 people worldwide. And many of these were good scientists. A lot of them were administrators as well. But basically the reason they had to lay off that large number of people, and this is one of a pattern of developments within the drug industry, is that the current methods of developing drugs are simply failing. New approaches are needed, and new approaches are here and available. And I think they're put in startling relief in this film.